Morning. Hi, I am Ruthie of Mixtic Readings. I am a genderqueer Christian card reading leftist. I'm a Libra sun, Taurus moon, Sagittarius rising. My Venus is also in Libra. I'm just catching the vibe, shuffling up a little bit. I was going to get into my Bible a little and just sharing how I reconcile my Christian faith with my spiritual practices. I was inspired. There's a reader on YouTube called Lighthearted Intuition, and sometimes she goes live and then deletes it. And today she went live and started talking about like letting people live in their own religious spaces and like not like judging people for that and like shoving religion down throats and stuff. And it was really targeted at Christianity. And honestly, like it took me a long time I'm an adult onset Christian. I was not raised in the faith. I was raised like sort of lackadaisically Jewish. And so I wasn't raised to be religious in that way. I was like kind of raised to believe Judaism was correct, but not necessarily like to be connected to the religion in any sort of way. I look frozen. Well, that's annoying. Oh, there it is. My computer just went wild. Okay. I think it's live running again. Cool. So anyway, all that to say, I just thought I'd come here and just like be a Christian a little bit and also be a spiritist a little bit and see what happens. Okay. So here's the cards that came out during that little spiel. It's this beautiful deck. It's called Love and Magic. It's really cute little deck. And here's the cards that came out. First, don't worry about proving yourself in this life. There is no worthiness to prove. You are perfect as you are, and life is supposed to be fun. Then, your inner being is a natural state of love. Love regardless of the conditions. We don't have to prove ourselves. No proving the self. No proving worthiness. Inner being is a natural state of love. Okay. It feels good to feel good, doesn't it? Focus on a good feeling memory to help out in low moments. So focus on feeling good. And if we want to be productive members of society anyway, we have to focus on feeling good because we can't give anybody anything else if we don't feel good enough, right? Procrastination simply means you are not energetically ready. This is my favorite card. Don't push. You will get what you need done when you are ready, and it will be effortless. Effortless flow. That's something I'm working on a lot right now. Effortlessness. It's important to get fresh air daily. Get outside, look up, move around in it, and breathe deep. Go outside. And finally, keep up your positive vibrations by finding things that feel good when you think about them. Think about good feeling things. So, yes, of course I want to see the picture you made coming right now. Hold on, let me open the door. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love it. It's so beautiful. Okay. So now that I have these messages, let me ruminate on these messages. So I'm going to clear the air a little. Neat. Now I'm going to sandalwood. Yas. Don't mind if I do. Helps me get a little grounded, you know? It's hard to think of something that helps me this much as not of God, so I don't. No proving worthiness, already worthy. Inner being is a natural state of love. Focus on feeling good. Focus on effortlessness. Go outside daily. Think about good feeling things. So on the bottom of the deck, it says, if you find yourself forcing or efforting, take a break. Everything feels effortless after alignment of your energy. Isn't that beautiful with that tulip? The sun and the moons. The person's hands are creating that. It's like our hands created the storm, and now our doing will also create the rainbow. Isn't that beautiful? So, now I'm going to try to use these messages that we pulled to pull something out of my Bible and see. It's like I love to use tarot, oracle, and those kind of things to go on a little scavenger hunt in my Bible for what message I might be receiving from my Christian God as I'm connecting with the general spiritual energy of the universe. And if that's witchcraft or whatever, I'm glad I don't live in a time in which I could be murdered just for, legally murdered just for, leaning into what God has given me through intuitive gifts. Don't worry about figuring out your life purpose. Every step you take will help your purpose find you. Let's go to lean out on your own understanding. Thanks for joining me, whoever's here. If you could give me a like, that would be so nice. Okay. 12:33. Let me just Google it. Proverbs 3:5. Okay, cool. That's dope. Okay, Proverbs 3. It's cool when I get to go to the Old Testament for a message because that reaches such a grander audience. Like, if I'm in the New Testament, it's a pretty specific crowd that's interested in hearing what it says, but like my people, the Jews, might be interested in a message that comes out of Proverbs. So it's like, that's why it's beautiful, is using the cards, using the Bible, using my life experience, using my education, all those things together gives me access to such a huge swath of individuals based on like the language that I know how to speak, depending on the crowd that I'm with, right? These are all little gifts that God has given me to help expose good spiritual messages to those who need them, no matter what their affiliations are, because everybody deserves inspiration from God, no matter what their affiliation or their beliefs. Okay, Proverbs 12. I'm going to read from the Message because I just like that. Proverbs 3. Oh, he's a pet monster. Y'all okay? You're having fun. Great. In the Message, this section is called Don't Assume You Know It All. I'm just going to, let's see how long this, it's not that long. I'm just going to read all of Proverbs 3. Don't assume you know it all. Good friend, don't forget all I've taught you. Take to heart my commands. They'll help you live a long, long time, a long life lived full and well. So remember, the commands, the things that God tells us to do, are supposed to be about helping us have longevity and a happy and joyful and fulfilled life. The kids are funny. So these are suggestions that are supposed to be like utilized in order to live a long and prosperous life. Like, if we want to ride hard and hang up wet on our life, we can do that. Like, we have free will. But the suggestions given by God is because God knows what's good for us. And so I like to think of it like Burger King Whoppers, like they always have that campaign about how it's customizable. You can have it, like, there's a million different ways to eat a Whopper because you can have it a million different ways to eat it. I kind of like to look at spirituality and God like that, because not everybody likes mustard. Not everybody likes lettuce on their burger. I like tomatoes, but I don't like fast food tomatoes because I'm not trying to get food poisoning. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, like, not trying to put irrational paranoia on you. I'm sure fast food tomatoes are fine. It's just like sometimes I get a tummy ache after I eat them. Anyway, so just remember, like, when we're religious beings and we're going to the Bible in order to get advice about how to live our lives, that's about how to live our best, highest, ascended good. God co-creates a special design for each person. As individual and loved as we are upon the moment that God decided we would be, right? As intricately and intimately, once in a lifetime, once in existence, as that particular moment was, so too is the exact prescription on how we can have our most close relationship with God. And so I'm just so grateful to be finding more and more and more and more and more ways to devote. It's like meditating for like hours is really difficult, right? So that's why people have guided meditations and things. Well, I want to devote as many moments of my day as possible to communing with God. But if I try to just do it in my Bible or just do it through prayer or just do it through meditation, I'm going to run out of steam for those activities sooner. Now, not everyone does, but that's always been the case for me. So I'm grateful that I now have these other tools to access my higher power so that we can be in constant co-creation. It's like, what do they say? People only use like 10% of their brains at a time. I want to use more percentage of my God connection power, more parts of the day. Okay. I've literally only read 1 through 2 of 3. So I'm just going to go back into it now. Don't lose your grip on love and loyalty. Tie them around your neck. Carve their initials on your heart. Love and loyalty. Carve their initials on your heart. Earn a reputation for living well in God's eyes and the eyes of the people. Now, this is difficult in the Spiritist community because, like, if you're close with people who are more conservative Christianity types, it's hard to have a good reputation for being a card reader or like doing any kind of witchcraft or pagan activities. So, take it with a grain of salt, do what you got to do, like live your life. God's going to tell you what to do and how to move forward in your heart and your intuition. You'll know if it's right or wrong. Okay. Oh, here we go. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. That's your intuition. I had a therapist, Sandra Cook, amazing Houston therapist when I was a teenager many, many years ago, like almost 20 years ago. She told me when I was 15 years old and struggling in this world that was just so hard to exist in, she told me, God is in your gut. And the Bible says that's true. It says it right here. Let me say it again. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. Run to God, run from evil. Your body will glow with health. Your very bones will vibrate with life. That's the higher vibrational energy. Honor God with everything you own. Give him the first and the best. Your barns will burst. Your wine vats will brim over. But don't, dear friend, resent God's discipline. Don't sulk under his loving correction. It's the child he loves that God corrects. A father's delight is behind all this. Thank you, God. Thank you for your disciplines, right? Like, let's just take a moment. Thank you, God, for your disciplines. Thank you for the ways that you course correct my life so that I am not fully responsible for fixing the things that I do wrong, the things that I didn't know better, the things that I did know better, God. Help me so much to guide myself through those situations. And thank you for all the times that you have done so thus far. I don't resent your discipline. I don't handle it very well sometimes, but I don't resent it. It is the child he loves that God corrects. A father's delight is behind all this. Listen, the other day, my child, my eldest, is in kindergarten, virtually online from home. The teacher's wonderful. And I got a little knock at my door, and behind the door was a little sad face. I'm like, what? What's wrong? She was like, I got in trouble for not paying attention. And I was like, oh. And then we had to have a conversation about the difference between getting in trouble and being disciplined, and how at home there's less kids to manage and more time involved in explaining our disciplinary practices, so that she feels like she's co-creating her better behavior, which we do with God, right? That's the example we get that from, is our loving and gracious Creator. Thank you, God. But anyway, that being said, our I had to explain the difference between discipline and getting in trouble, and that the teacher's job is to help the kindergartners learn to be good students. And that takes discipline and paying attention and in correction. And so, with one piece of candy later, we in that conversation, we felt further along in our discipline journey and grateful for the opportunity to get better. Next up, the section is called in the message, The Very Tree of Life. You're blessed when you meet Lady Wisdom, when you make friends with Madam Insight. Now remember, insight and wisdom only come from making mistakes and crossing boundaries and figuring out and that embarrassing cycle of life. You're blessed when you meet Lady Wisdom, when you make friends with Madam Insight. She's worth far more than money in the bank. Her friendship is better than a big salary. Her value exceeds all the trappings of wealth. Nothing you could wish for holds a candle to her. Nothing you could wish for holds a candle to wisdom and insight. With one hand, she gives long life. With the other, she confers recognition. Her manner is beautiful, her life wonderfully complete. She's the very tree of life to those who embrace her. Hold her tight and be blessed. Hold wisdom and insight tight and be blessed. Just being able to see the truth is so much more than so many people have the privilege to do. To be able to see the truth. I keep coming back to this lately. The Sufis talked about how the fog is the gift of helping us hide what we're not yet ready to see. But wisdom and insight prepares us with readiness, with eyes to see. And there's such a gift in that. It's so much easier to release to God, to walk forward, to stop trying to control every single thing when we have the wisdom and the insight to understand that we can't control it anyway. With Lady Wisdom, God formed earth. With Madam Insight, he raised heaven. They knew when to signal rivers and springs to surface, and dew to descend from the night skies. Now let's talk about this scientifically. The reason life exists on Earth, scientifically speaking, is because the conditions, the accidental conditions, were so exactly finitely perfect that life could spring forth. Hey, Hugo. Life could spring forth. If you give me a thumbs up, that'd be baller. Anyway, life springs forth because the literal universe, galaxy, planet, all this stuff, all cooperated for this one perfect instant that life could burst forth and then propagate. That's scientifically speaking what's up with that. So they knew Lady Wisdom and Madam Insight, the creators of heaven and earth, or the co-creators, the entities that God created heaven and earth with. They knew when to signal rivers and springs to surface and dew to descend from the night skies. The literal exacting information, right? God, with wisdom and insight, is so exacting that life on earth exists, right? And we have access to that spiritual power. We can literally tap into that same source of the universe that literally created everything. We can literally take our little sap straw into the tree of life and suck out the nectar of wisdom and insight and knowledge, and all we have to do is seek it, and it'll literally be there. All we have to do is want the highest good, and it will literally materialize. All we have to do is release our expectations for what that all is, and we'll be open to the opportunity of something beyond our wildest imagination. That's literally promised in the Bible. Okay, I'm a little worked up about that. So, to recap, I went into these love and magic cards, pulled some messages, which I'm going to repeat right now. We don't need to prove our worthiness because we're automatically worthy. Our inner beings are a natural state of love. We get to focus on feeling good. We get to wait until things are effortless and flow state so that we can move through in that. We should go outside every day, think about good feeling things. Oh, this card that flew out says, every problem is a messy, beautiful gift. There's this third eye, but also the eye of God. That's where we're connecting with sight. That's where our insight comes from, right? Our crown chakra, we receive that purple light down into our brains, and then we make sense of that information with our third eye chakra by observing what can be seen and the unseen. And that's a gift of intuition in our gut that God gave us. It says it right here in Proverbs 3. Let's see. Trust is 5 through 12. Or here's Proverbs 3:5. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Right there. Okay, let me finish reading this. I keep getting sidetracked with beautiful channeled messages, and I'm so grateful for that. So, ding, ding, ding. Okay. Never walk away. That's what the last section of this is called. Never walk away. Dear friend, guard clear thinking and common sense with your life. Dear friend, guard clear thinking and common sense with your life. Don't for a minute lose sight of them. They'll keep your soul alive and well. They'll keep you fit and attractive. You'll travel safely. You'll never tire nor trip. You'll take afternoon naps without a worry. You'll enjoy a good night's sleep. No need to panic over alarms or surprises or predictions that doomsday is just around the corner. Because God will be right there with you. He'll keep you safe and sound. Never walk away from someone who deserves help. Your hand is God's hand for that person. Don't tell your neighbor, maybe some other time, or try me tomorrow, when the money's right there in your pocket. Don't figure ways of taking advantage of your neighbor when he's sitting there trusting and unsuspecting. Don't walk around with a chip on your shoulder, always spoiling for a fight. Don't try to be like those who shoulder their way through life. Why be a bully? Why not, you say? Because God can't stand twisted souls. It's the straightforward who get his respect. It literally says in Proverbs 3:32. Now, in the NIV, it says, the wise inherit honor, but fools get only shame. But I really like the message. I think it's very clear. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Oh. Why? Okay, I got that wrong. Hold on. For the Lord to test the pervert. Oh, no. Okay. Why not, you say? Because God can't stand twisted souls. It's the straightforward who get his respect. Here's what the NIV says. For the Lord, but takes the upright into his confidence. The upright into his confidence is like the upright, the people who are seeking that highest good are getting direct messages from God through channeling, through whatever their spiritual means, prayer, meditation, whatever. We get those divine inspirations in our intuition, that God in our gut telling us what to do because God has taken us into his confidence. God will tell us what to do because we're listening, because we're proving ourselves loyal to that. Now, I really like the message version, though. It says, it's the straightforward who get his respect. That is such a... Ezra, what can I do for you? Can I finish my video real quick? Okay, I'll call you in when I'm done. It's the straightforward who get his respect. I try to be a really straightforward person. I have some neurodiversity complications with social cues. And so I really like it when people are straightforward, even if it's like, not like rude, but if it's like a little uncomfortable for me to hear it, If it's straightforward and it's from a place of honesty and a deferential, like loving place, I much prefer that than trying to figure out how to be more socially correct. And I think that's genuinely true in human relationships and our spiritual relationship. If we can sit down and have a straightforward conversation with God, God will give us that respect back. God's curse blights the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He gives proud skeptics a cold shoulder. They're proud and skeptical anyway, so they don't even want God's warm shoulder. But if you're down on your luck, he's right there to help. Oh my God, he gives proud skeptics a cold shoulder, but if you're down on your luck, he's right there to help. He gives you the cold shoulder you want. You don't even want the warm shoulder, but you need God, and there God will be. How beautiful is that? Wise living gets rewarded with honor. Stupid living gets the booby prize. So I'm going to pull some more messages, but I just wanted to give like a general idea in this first episode, if it becomes episodic, of, coffee, cards, and Christianity, because right now I'm like having my caffeine fix. Oh, it's cold. I've got some cards out. I got my Bible out. I thought about God. I spent more time with God than I would have today because I was here. Heck yes, episodic. Okay, great. Thanks for the encouragement. Because God prompted me in this very specific way. So I also want to make this whole card thing a little less scary for people. There's no right or wrong way to live your life. Be easy on yourself. If cards aren't for you, that's cool. They're for me. And that's okay. I still love God. Right? I love God so much more now because I have so much more access to a vulnerable, loving conversation. Bro, I'm making a video right now. Here's this. And also, you know where your phone is? It's on my windowsill.
Your window?
Yeah, over there on my window is your phone. Yeah, you and Hazel's phone. So I'm going to get one more deck out and see what our final messages from God about. God, there were so many things, but I think the general message so far has been my message is always about ascending to that highest place and communing with God. But I think the message today for this particular show is just like, whatever we're doing to get closer to God, to be able to hear God's voice more clearly, this process took me to my Bible today. Ask me if I would have picked up my Bible if I hadn't done this today. Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't pick up my Bible every day, but I was like, whoa, I got this divine inspiration to make this message. I got out a deck with the word magic in it to make a point. Beautiful messages came out that helped focus me to jump to a certain point of the Bible. We went to the entire chapter of the Bible and pulled out these amazing, incredible, inspiring, humbling messages from God directly. So I think that's pretty cool. And that's how I wanted to give an example of how I use this practice in my life for my ascension journey. So let's take an archetype card. Hey, Hazel, are you on a break? I'm making a video. You want to come say hi to the fans? I'm going to start shuffling this archetype deck. We've been studying in the Bible and doing cards, and I've been drinking coffee and chatting.
Hi there, guys.
Miss Malady says, hi, Hazel. Do you want to tell them, don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button.
Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button.
Awesome. Anything else? Are you still in school or are you on a break? You're hungry? What do you want? You already got a sweet. You already had a sandwich. Why don't you go find yourself like a granola bar?
Having a peanut butter taco.
I already made you a peanut butter and jelly. I think you need to do something a little more self-sufficient because I'm literally on a live video. People are watching. You got some thanks for coming and joining the show, though. You're very cute. Can you please go back to school? Go find yourself a snack.
you to get me a surprise snack.
I don't want to get you a surprise snack. I'm making a live video. There's actively people watching me right now.
Come
No, but you know what you can have? Something that you get yourself.
It's not fair.
Why not? I've been getting you snacks all morning. What is it that you want? Don't tickle my feet. Go back to class. Don't make me start counting on you in the interwebs. Please go. Go get yourself something. You want another sweet thing?
Come on, I'll give extra one.
Chocolate coin? Okay, bye.
That sounds delicious.
Okay, I was at the Michaels buying some craft supplies the other day, and I saw a big bag of Hanukkah gelt, and I was like, I gotta get my Jewish kids some Hanukkah gelt. There's some in the freezer so that we have some at Hanukkah, but I put some in the candy bowl. We ate all the better candy already. The Judge, the Shadow. Oh my God. Okay. Now that we're getting down to the nitty gritty, let's see if anything else comes. Thanks for joining me, y'all. What's that? Too many. Just looking for one more. So we have the Judge and the Shadow. Whoa. Okay, so we got the Judge, the Shadow, the Shapeshifter, and the Mask. Oh, I froze again. I guess I'll wait. Boop boo. Doo doo. Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. Doo 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 doo. Oh, we're back. Sweet. Okay, so I noticed that the reason I was trying to get one more is because these were so dark, and they were kind of like giving me some not negative messages, but I don't have a word for it. But anyway, I was like, let's see if a colorful one came out. And then the Shapeshifter card came out, and then also at the bottom was the Mask, which is half black and white and half colorful. Notice that? So I just wanted to mention that because I'm going to bring that into my reading. Hold on, let me plug in my computer. I'm going to bring that into my reading. And so I wanted to give a explanation of kind of what happened mentally and then what happened as a result of the question I asked. A lot of readers ask their questions of spirit out loud, but that's embarrassing to me. Yes? Did you get candy from Hazel? Okay, I'm going to finish my video then. Eat your candy. Here. So, the Judge, the Shadow, the Shapeshifter, the Mask. The Judge I want to bring in is like this God energy, the one we were talking about through that whole biblical reading, okay? The Shadow is what's inside of ourselves. And now we just had this new moon in Scorpio. We're just coming out of that transformational energy. We just finished the Mars retrograde and it went direct. We had the 11/11 portal. I've been talking about this a lot. Astrologically speaking, everything has been really wild. But the reason I bring this up is the new moon in Scorpio and Scorpio season is all about interacting with our shadow. If you don't already do shadow work, get a little self-esteem, prepared, bottle it so that you're prepared with rations of it, and then dive in to some shadow work because it's transformational. But if you're already doing shadow work, you might notice during this time that God is revealing things that you didn't think you were quite necessarily ready to start dealing with yet. And it might feel very uncomfortable facing these new, deeper truths that we need to. The reason we're facing those right now, mid-November, is because it's giving us the rest of 2020 to digest these new ways of looking at ourselves and our behaviors and the ways that we operate in the world. And so God is giving us this opportunity to do the shadow work. God is the judge, but it's like a just, fair thing. It's never about revenge. It's never about punishment, right? It's that just difference between punishment and discipline. Judges' responsibilities are not supposed to be punishment. They're supposed to be discipline. Now, the world we live in doesn't operate like that. I'm not trying to actually talk about what our actual judicial system looks like, because that's a totally different political video. But where we are, the reason God is giving us this just and wise opportunity, that the reason that wisdom and insight are setting in to allow us to do this shadow work is so that we may be able to be a shapeshifter, to start changing into the person that we want to be in this world, showing up in the world a little bit more intentionally. Applying, and the mask is not always a bad thing. We get to apply masks to ourselves based on what we learn in our situations. We don't always have to match outside what's inside. In fact, many times we don't. There's an authentic way to live with masks on. There's the willingness to put a mask on to assimilate into an enjoyable, higher vibrational situation. Maybe it's kind of like code switching, but with your identity. However, there's both always a duality, right? We saw in that, I put them away, but those duality with the suns and the moons opposite each other in the sky. There were several cards that came out like that. And there's duality on this card, the light and the dark. There's a lot of that going on here, right? So it's finding that perfect balance between those things. That also the Judge has that Libra energy. Allowing ourselves to figure out how to physically operate in this world. So interesting. Do y'all want me to do another deck? Cleaning up this one. If you say in the comments you want me to pull from another deck, I will. If you have any questions you'd like me to pull on, I'm happy to do that as well. I'm here for the ride. You do you, boo. Okay, sweet. Ezra's doing Ezra also. What's wrong, baby? What?
Watching my old TV.
You want to watch something on the old TV? Okay. Miss Melody says they're along for the ride, so let's do it. I'm just going to sing a hymn now for fun. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise God, all creatures here below. You don't want me to sing it? Praise God above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. What? Oh, your pet dragon, huh? Amen. They didn't make it on Noah's boat. No, Netflix, don't do this to me. I know this TV is old, but we need you right now. Thanks, you're a treasure too. I appreciate you being here with me. Look at this amazing. My dad got this at an estate sale. It's huge, like Ruthie for scale. Okay, Netflix is trying. Yay, it's working. What do you want to watch? What? Oh, you want to watch, what is it called? Abby Hatcher?
Abby Hatcher. He's the fastest thing in the whole wide world.
Here he is, or she, or them. There you go. Play from beginning, dear God. It's loading. Yes. On Christ the solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. Okay, let's do another deck. Let's do this. Close this door. My little closet hidey hole. Thanks for coming along the ride in my house. Okay. Sacred Self-Care Oracle. I'm going to pull one. I'm going to mix it up. What? 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 I just turned on the TV for you. Thank you. My partner and I have been together for over a decade, and we moved 10 times in 9 times in 7 years. And we finally moved here. This is our first home that we purchased. The first year we were together, we got married when we were 23, and that year we made $19,000 together. And so it's been a wonderful, beautiful journey for the last decade of moving. We've lived in several different cities. We've gotten a couple of college degrees between us and had a couple of kids. And honestly, I give all the glory to God for this beautiful life. And I truly believe that it has been given to us because we obediently follow the calls we feel in our life. And we work very hard to discern what is actually a call from God and what's a call from our ego. And it's not perfect. We're not perfect at all. But we work really, really hard on this life. And we also work really, really hard to move in gratitude for the many beautiful provisions we've gotten access to through privilege. And while I am transgender, Jewish in the South, and have neurodiversity, if you just look at me, I am a very cis-presenting looking, like we look like the, Beaver Cleaver family, if you're looking at us from a distance. And that has afforded us so very many privileges in this world. So we believe that God gave us those things for us to give them all away. And I had a tarot reader tell me in a private reading, I've only ever paid for one private reading like that. And she told me that Spirit was saying that I'm not into money. I just want modest luxury and enough to give away. And that's so true. Okay. Let's see what these cards have to say. These self-healing cards or self-care. We got number 3, aromatherapy. I still have an incense going. Number 47, sound healing. Number 54, watch a movie. And number 2, alone time. I think this is all about grounding ourselves and feeling like, if you look at alone time, you can see there's a solar system revolving around this person who's standing on a rock in the ocean off the beach. And so grounding and centering ourselves is placing ourselves as the middle of the universe, right? Oh, I thought this was plugged in. Oh, I plugged in the cord, but I didn't actually put it in the computer. I had 2 kids under 6, so bear with me. So if you look at this, our grounding work, our centering work, it's realizing our inherent worthiness. Just like that first card that popped up, it's like telling us that we need to remember that we are inherently worthy. There's nothing to prove in that regard. And that's true. So as we lose sight of our centeredness in the universe, God is calling us through self-care in the form of just hanging out alone, doing the things that feel restful, and soaking up some aromatherapy and some sound cleansing. That could be chakra meditation music on the internet. That could be a singing bowl. That could be listening to kids laugh. I mean, a million different things. Let's put those babies away. I'm having a great time, so I don't feel done. When the numbers go, I'll probably go. Or when the kids demand. Yes. Okay, I'm going to do Divine Feather Messages and Wild Offering Oracle, a 52 card deck on giving it all to God. Love God so much. Thank you so much, God, for this opportunity. Thank you for the ability to stream live to complete strangers on the internet. Thank you for the ability to recognize these blessings amidst the wildest year I've ever experienced in my life. Thank you, God, for the health of my children and for the health of myself and my partner. Thank you for financial stability. Thank you for knowing where my next meal is coming from. Thank you for overcoming any stage fright that would have prevented me from doing this in the past. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to utilize my passion in this way. All right. The first card that popped out was Bluebird. You are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. Wren, be bold and confident. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. And Parrot, let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It is time to embrace who you really are. I feel like that message has been ringing through so much through this whole thing, is like authentic self, not having to compete for worthiness, knowing that we are worthy as is, like the divinity of our existence. Like if we believe God doesn't make mistakes, it's a Christianity feed, so I'm pretty sure I'm talking to people who at least are comfortable with the idea of the potential that God made each one of us on purpose. If God made us all on purpose, then isn't it like against God to be that hard on ourselves, or to think that we don't have worthiness inherently? Like literally God made us. In the words of a small tanner, how rude. My tummy's grumbling, so maybe I won't last that long. I'm a Taurus moon, so I'm like eating is highly prioritized. Let's just pick some. Oh, this one was backwards. Contentment. You can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. Resting in God? That was what that whole thread was about, was trusting God and like leaning into that. Wow. I just like was going to make some decks, and then that was just backwards in there. I'm still going to make the decks. So which deck should I pick? 1, 2, or 3? Two. Cool. Thank you. Oh, you're so cute for participating. I so appreciate it. I can't even tell you. Okay, so I took one small stack out, and we're going to see what comes out. Oh, y'all both picked 2? Whoa, I love that synchronicity for all of us. Y'all both picked 2. True offering. High five. I love it. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I am yours alone. I'm going to take a moment to say that we have the content streaming into our Patreon. Witch and Wonder from YouTube and I are collaborating on a paid content site. So if you're interested, you can go to patreon.com/creatorscoven. There's 3 different payment tiers you can subscribe to. No pressure. I'm still going to be creating free content here for the YouTube as my ministry. There we go. Empowerment. When you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It's a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, Lord. Pulled into your own authentic power, right? Like, we're only complete with God. So when we lean our stream into the stream of God, that's when we're like, it's like Thanos putting that fifth gem in, right? When we fully connect with God, we have all the power of the universe. Okay. I'm going to pull from one more deck because I'm having a great time. And we have 4 minutes left till the hour. Maybe I'll just start doing that. This will be an hour-long show, whether people are here or not. Just keep doing it. It's very easy to do. Just sit here and do what I would already be doing with friends. I'm going to use the universe has your back because we've been getting that message the whole time that the universe has our back, that God has our backs. So we're going to, here, you want to see some shuffling? Here we go. Ugh, what an embarrassing. I'm like, here, you want to see some shuffling? 52 card pickup. There's one. This one's really talking. Let me go through one more time and then I'll see what we got here. That's what I thought. Happiness is my birthright. Look at that. The sun and the moon duality is there too. It's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, you got that deck? Do you like it? I witness the darkness and call on the light with my prayer. Thank you, universe, for guiding me to perceive this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. The key to prayer is to forget. Oh, yeah, I should show you that. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. We were talking about that earlier, too. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Right? Think about good feeling things. Focus on feeling good, things that are effortless. These are the messages we got earlier on. All this confirmation, all this synchronicity. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. Now, that's what we were talking about earlier, too. Remember when we said, I guess I say we, but really I'm talking about me. But like me and higher, whatever, we's fine. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. When we interact with wisdom and what was it, like Lady Wisdom and Madam Insight, when we're hanging out with those things, we're getting closer to consciousness. So this is a very dark card. This is a very solitary existence. That reminds me of the shadow card from earlier. But remember, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's even painful at times, what we get out of that clarity is truth and abundance and the reduction of the things that we think we should fear. I am the loving energy of the universe. That's right. We all are. It's our jobs to be raising our vibrational frequency for the rest of everybody. The more we do it, the more it happens for everyone. I honor how I want to feel. right? Like I'm working through this right now too. This feeling like not wanting to do things is wrong of me. Like there's things that people want me to do and I don't want to do them, and like the only reason I won't do it is because I don't want to. And I'm having to get used to the fact that that's literally enough. Like not wanting to do it is enough of a reason. Okay. I'm going to get a tarot deck out. Actually, I'll let y'all pick because you've been so interactive and I appreciate it so much. I'll give you 3 choices. Actually, I'll give you 2 and see if you pick the same one. Lightseers or Golden Girls? Lightseers or Golden Girls, yeah. You never watched Golden Girls? Okay, I'll use Lightseers, but this is your homework. Watch the Golden Girls. If you like it, let me know. I'll do a Golden Girl reading. I mean, I'll do them anyway, but I'll do Lightseers today since you've never seen Golden Girls. I mean, it's a bunch of old white ladies living in Florida during retirement, so I don't know how important it can really be, but I do think it's like a pop culture icon situation, you know? I'm going to cleanse these cards because I got a pretty intense reading out of them the other day, so. One more little piece. Oh, yeah. I just buy like regular sage from the grocery store and then dry it myself. It's not efficient. I need a plant. That did not work. I need a bigger piece. Yeah, a cultural phenomenon for sure. Now it's a little extra special to me because my mom really loved that show. I was born in 1987, so I was a kid, you know, through the 90s and in the early 2000s. And I used to, like, my mom had a small apartment and I lived with my dad. So when I was with my mom, I would like sleep in her room. And so we used to fall asleep watching Golden Girls because we were those people who like put a sleep timer and fall asleep watching TV. But anyway, so it's kind of special to me for that reason. It's not something I watch a lot, but I do have a Golden Girls shirt that I wore yesterday. Got it at Walmart. All right. So maybe I'm just looking for like a little bit of advice or like final messages. We got the King of Cups out so far. All right. So we have the King of Cups in the upright, the High Priestess in the upright, the Two of Wands in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. And also the High Priestess is the number 2 card. I'm just getting a lot of insistence to be still and listen and know and understand that it's not up to us and it needs to be effortless and received. Like, this is all receiving. Now, the King of Cups is like perfect alignment, emotionally perfect control, and like emotions like gently cared for by logic. And this High Priestess, like, look at the way that spirit just pours information into this third eye, right? But both of them have closed eyes. They're both focusing quietly and still. And this person in the Two of Wands is like longing out the window with this globe here. But this is in reverse, right? So there's not there doesn't need to be a longing to go somewhere. There doesn't need to be a longing for forward motion. It's like there's balance. I see the 8 here. I see the 2. This is all motion in reverse, right? So it's like slow, intentional movement forward with closed eyes, waiting for divine inspiration from God. This energy is a lot of us moving forward. This energy is a lot of us being still and being receptive. And so I think that this is just like a general, overall insistence that the way, like, things need to be effortless. We don't have to power through right now. We need to sit and receive. And receiving is difficult, but we're called to receive toward the end of the year. This Scorpio season, we're in a very receptive mode. This is a time in which we are wrapping up all of the loose strings from the last bits of the year and making sense of it to solidify the foundation for the upcoming one. And we have about 6 weeks left to make these changes before 2021 gets here. And we're called to reach inside of ourselves and move forward with new wisdom, with new insight, right? Okay, we're at an hour and 7 minutes. So I am going to close this up and check on my children. I thank you so much for joining me. I've had a wonderful time. I'm always sharing tons of content on my Facebook page. Let me see what the Mixtic Readings Facebook. It is Mixtic Readings, but I'm not sure what the spacing of. There's none. So facebook.com/Mixtic Readings. In fact, I'm going to drop this in the chat real quick. I'm so glad this meant a lot to you also. So I put my Facebook link there. I hope it works. I'm not really sure. I'm new to the live thing. But facebook.com/Mixtic Readings, all one word. Now it's Mixtic because I'm a mix, right? I'm transgender, genderqueer. My pronouns are they, them, and theirs. And my title is Mix Ruth, right? Like instead of Miss or Mr., it's Mix. So that's why it's Mixtic Readings. Anyway, you can find me on Facebook. And what I do there is I share videos that I personally watch and stand for that I think are good spiritual tools. So I watch a lot of readings. For me, it's not just a time waster. It's also research. I learned how to shuffle. I learn about different decks. I like see how the interpretations fit together. So it's really research based for me, but sometimes there's some really powerful and affecting messages from readers that I super trust. And I share a lot of those on my Facebook page because we're all in this thing together. We're trying to get through together. So go ahead and check me out. I would also suggest checking out Witch and Wonder. She makes a lot of great content and is my business partner. And she makes a lot of good free content on YouTube as well. And yeah, so if you want to, I'm on Instagram as well. I post mostly just pictures there. I haven't figured out how to use it for like business purposes, and I'm also thinking about a TikTok, but I haven't done it yet. Anyway, I love you so much because I love me and we are just both as worthy as each other in God's eyes. And so I honor that in you. I ask for you to honor that in me and all others. We're doing the best we can. Until next time, be blessed.